In the context of Matthew 18, verse 17 here, we get to see the appropriate way to admonish a brother in the faith and also to protect the church. So it reads, if he refuses to listen to them, tell it to the church. And if he refuses to listen even to the church, let him be to you as a Gentile and a tax collector. Now, you really need the full scope of what Jesus was talking about here. And so before, he was talking about if you find your brother in some sort of sin, the way that you go about admonishing him is to go to him privately first. And then if he doesn't listen to you there, then you come to him with 2 or 3 witnesses. Now, these people are probably people that he respects or in some way is held accountable to. And you want to do these 2 things first because we're just trying to avoid shaming this individual and embarrassing this individual. But what Jesus says then is, okay, if he's not going to listen to you, if he's not going to listen to the 2 or 3 other people that you bring along with you, then it's time to now tell the church about it. And so that can result in a little bit more of a public display of the wrongdoing of the brother, but we have to remember it's really for his benefit. The worst thing that you could do in this situation for a brother in the church is to kind of sweep the sin under the rug, try to kind of hide it for him and not really confront it. That is the absolute worst thing that you could do because though he might be able to get away with it on this side of eternity, there will be consequences. Now, he could very well still be in heaven, but maybe because of that sin, there's far more rewards and things that he could have had in heaven that he wouldn't be able to have because he continued to walk in that level of darkness. And so it's really a way to protect, or I'm sorry, really a way to love your brother. But it's also really important that we're protecting the church with this too. Jesus talks about, or I'm sorry, it's Paul, he talks about a little bit of leaven, leavening the whole lump of dough. And so if we just let a little bit of compromise begin to sneak into the church, it's amazing how quickly that one little infection, that one little piece of cancer spreads throughout the entire body. And really what ends up happening is if it doesn't ever go unchecked or treated, it ends up really killing the organism. And in this case, using that parable, it would be the church. It ends up ruining the church that this person's a part of. Now, we might feel originally like, man, that seems a little rough to like consider him a Gentile and a tax collector. These were types of people that the Jewish race that Jesus was talking to here would not associate with. And so he's basically saying like you need to remove him from the community that you're a part of. You need to not be mean to him, not be cruel to him, but basically say that if you are going to live this lifestyle, if you are not going to repent and turn from your sin, then you cannot be considered a part of the church because you are walking in direct disobedience to God. And so this, I think, is really, really crucial and something that we got to be careful of, especially in the modern church where we want to be very welcoming to outsiders. And I totally get the heart behind that. But what we don't want to do is we don't want to have sinful habits and all the darkness that is attributed with not knowing Christ to be mixed into the very fabric of the church. Because if that begins to happen, then all of a sudden the church does not have that purity and holiness that God calls it to.